Hi, my name is Ivy Starnes, and I'm a gaited horse trainer in Fort Worth, Texas. And today I'm going to be talking about my clinics. So I travel around the country and offer horse training clinics, but a lot of people ask questions about how to set them up, how they work, and I just wanted to take this live video to answer any questions you guys might have and explain how the process works of setting up a clinic and then just participating in one because my format is a little bit unique. But also I will take any questions you have about gaited horses in general, and any questions you have just about the gaited horse training. So just let me know, go ahead and comment, and hopefully we can answer any questions that there is and clear up any misunderstandings, and I can tell you about the exciting format that I have. And I had hoped to have a bunch of clinics to tell you about, but I only have a few to tell you potentially about where I'm going to set them up. But hopefully this will give you information if you ever wanted to set up a clinic. I'll tell you how you can do it, and hopefully we'll be able to get some set up for this next year. Okay, so first I want to tell you about the format of the clinic, and then I'll talk to you about how to set one up and how you would participate. So I do a clinic. It's 3-day clinics. I actually only do 3-day clinics. I don't do 2-day clinics. A lot of people ask, well, what about just Saturday and Sunday? The thing is that I have found is with all of these gaited horses, day 1 and day 2 are sort of problem solving and working on issues that the horse has a lot. And day 3 is actually where the rider gets a chance to get on. And now that we've worked through the problems, they get the horse gaiting. Now, some horses are gaiting on day 1 or 2, but most of the time it takes those 3 days, which is why I won't just do a 2-day clinic. So much of the horse's learning happens when we're not working them. So I want to be able to give those horses those 2 nights to soak in everything that we're teaching them. And so that's why I do a 3-day clinic. Often it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I'm flexible on the days if you want to do a different option. I've done Saturday, Sunday, Monday, when Monday was like Labor Day and things like that. So there are options. I do clinics not as group lessons. So I do a series of individual lessons. So we start usually at 9 o'clock, go through at 9 a.m. and go through about 6 p.m. And the first person brings their horse at 9 o'clock and they hop on and show me what the horse is doing. And then I politely ask if I can ride. And then I get on and start not fixing, but teaching the horse what we want them to do, like head down, and if they gait easily, stop and brace, and they have any little bit of gait. So then they go for an hour, and then they're done, and the next person has come in, and we start with theirs. And we do this for 9 hours, because we have a max of 9 horses and riders. So I really have a hard time working more than 9 horses in a single day, hence the max of 9 horses and riders. What this does, and a lot of people are very skeptical of this format until they see it work. What this does is it allows everybody to get the same amount of time with the trainer. It also doesn't wear out the horses and the riders quite as much as riding in group lessons all day long. So we work on things like gaiting, head down, stopping and standing, side passing to the mounting block, cantering, side passing, opening gates, backing up, cantering. It's pretty much those are the big ones we work on, but we can work on anything that you want. I do some dressage, I do some reining, we've worked on spins, we've also worked on special cues if you're going to show your horse at all, like how to have even less subtle, to have really subtle ways of asking your horse to stay in gait. We've done that as well. So the clinics are, like I said, individual lessons. When you're not riding in the clinic, you then get to watch and ask questions. I answer lots of questions about shoeing and saddle fitting and bits and bridles and trims. We look at the horse's feet and see how many of them have thrush, because a good number of them do end up having thrush in their feet. The owners never knew about it because the farriers never told them. If you want to know more about thrush and how you can find it, I'll put the video in the description because it's really important and super easy to treat and not expensive, but you have to know about it first. So that's how the clinic goes. We have auditors come, they can watch and ask questions just like the participants can. And if you go to group lessons, you'll often see that there are people that get more attention from the trainer. Often it'll be people that have really good horses and are really good students, and then the people whose horses look like they're going to kill them. They're the ones that end up getting attention from the trainers because you don't want anybody to die, and working with the good students makes you look good. But if you're somewhere in the middle, you tend to get less attention. Now, this is not the trainer's fault, and they're not trying to do it, but you're just sort of stuck and left out there to kind of work on stuff on your own for 3 or 4 hours each day, maybe a little bit more, and you don't know if you're doing it right because no one's giving you like personalized feedback. Now, not every horse is gaiting when they leave. Most of them are, especially if people have done the homework. And really, the only homework that I ask you to do ahead of time is head down. Train the horse to be soft and drop the head. That's it. And that's all that you need to have done ahead of time. Now, of course, anything else you do is good, but if you can train the horse to be soft and drop the head, I can almost guarantee we'll get gait that weekend. When horses come and they're high-headed, we often do get gait, but it takes a little bit longer. Often the first day is spent on that. Richard says, going live almost daily, super awesome. Yep, I am trying now that I have a more regular schedule, and I'm doing a lot more horse training consistently now that I'm in Texas. Barbara says she's hi from Maryland. Hey. She said, can you buy one of your bitless bridles? I believe I might have one left. I will check and see and then get back to you. Hi, Crystal, and hi, Diane, and Angela, and Janet, and Diana. Hey, thanks for joining us. So then we have the question of, also, we go back to the clinic. So everybody likes it because you then get to soak and watch other people. And you might be like, well, why do I need to watch other people? Because the other people's horses will be making the same mistakes that your horse will. And other people will be struggling just like you will. And you'll learn by watching them and be encouraged that other people's horses are like yours. And so it's a really great group atmosphere, and it goes really well, which is why I don't do group lessons and why we do the individual lessons. So also, we work right through lunch. So I find if I stop and take a lunch break, I lose momentum. If it's cold out, I really don't want to get back out there and get on a horse. So I work right through lunch. I eat snacky foods during the day, but we work and people can sit and eat their lunch whenever they would like during the day. Sometimes lunch is provided. Sometimes you bring your own. It just depends on each individual clinic venue. And you just eat when it's convenient for you, and I will be the same. And we just don't have a lunch break. Often, someone will arrange to do a potluck on one of the nights, say Friday night or Saturday night. Sometimes clinic participants want to all go out and eat together. We all go to the same restaurant, and that's really fun, and I love doing that with everybody. Also, on Sunday, I know a lot of people are trying to get back home quickly. So anybody that lives farther away will often switch up the timing so they can go early on Sunday so that they can get out and leave as quickly as possible. This just makes it easier so people aren't traveling during when it's dark out. And any local people will usually go toward the end of the day because they have such a short ride back home. So that works really well, and we try to accommodate a lot of people. Now, I notice we don't have very many viewers today, and it's not like a super sexy, exciting topic, but I think it's going to be helpful as more people are asking about the clinics. So let me talk about how to set it up quickly. If you want to set up a clinic, let's just say in the US, I will come to you. What we need, basically, and you don't have to pay up front, what we need is a barn, a location that we can use that can have horses brought in and stay overnight and have at least a covered arena. Or if they don't have a covered arena, they have outside arena, we need to have a covered arena as a backup in case of bad weather, because I don't do rain dates and I will not ride outside in the rain for 9 hours a day. So we did an outdoor clinic in Minnesota in the summer a couple years ago, but we had about 20 minutes away, we had a barn that would let us use the indoor arena if we needed it. The weather turned out beautiful. We didn't have to use it. But in the case of bad weather, I do need to have a backup arena. So once we have the arena and dates set, we need, again, place stalls for the horses, places for people to park trailers, and preferably a pavement or dirt or gravel road or driveway we can ride on to work on the gait. Because once the horse start gaiting, we go outside. And I forgot to mention that we work in the arena to start with, but as soon as the horses start gaiting, we go to the road or driveway or area where we can ride in a straight line on a hard surface where you can hear it. And it is so beneficial. People come to the clinic, sure, they will not be able to distinguish the gait from everything else the horse is doing. And they say by day 2 and 3, they still swear they won't be able to tell. But day 3, we start taking horses out on the road and driveway, and you start hearing the gait and feeling it. Everybody starts to get it, and riders leave knowing when their horse is gaiting and when they aren't. So we need a barn that we can use. Now, if some barns let us use it for free, we've been to some awesome places that let us use the locations for free or very low cost. If you own the barn or we can use it very low cost, then whoever organizes it, you get to ride for free. And you don't pay anything up front. Basically, I cover costs. People send the money to me. You don't have to pay for the clinic up front. If the barn charges a fee, I pay the fee. You don't have to pay that. I pay the fee, but you ride for half price. So whatever the cost is, you get to ride for half price. I pay the arena fee, and then people pay me, and then often pay for stalls and stuff directly to the barn. So you don't have to pay up front for me to come, and I help you do marketing. I put together a flyer. I post it on my email list, my website, Facebook page, all of that, because I want it to succeed. So I'm going to try to help you. But you're the local contact. You're the person who sets up the barn. I don't usually do that. You would work with the person. I have my own insurance, so I'll set that up once we get it firmed up. You would be the contact person for the barn and amenities and the riders. Like when they get there Thursday night, you would kind of be that contact person because I don't usually do that. And then if we need any food arranged for, like people want to pay for sandwich stuff or water, you might make sure that's there, or people bring their own lunch. You can do as much as you want or as little. Sometimes people arrange for a potluck if there's a good place to do it, and sometimes not. Again, that's kind of at the organizer's discretion. And so then we would go ahead and set it up. We'd pick a date that's good for me and you and the barn, and I would make a flyer, I'd get my insurance, and we would post that. And people will usually send me payments, and as long as we fill up, it's good. If someone signs up and for whatever reason has to cancel, we want a waiting list, because if someone cancels and we can get someone on the waiting list to jump in, they get a full refund. If not, I will do my very best to get them their money back, but the goal is to have a good waiting list so we can always have someone fill in a spot if something happens. God forbid, something could happen. We want to make sure that those people's spots are covered. Let's see. Yes, for a clinic, we want 9 horses and riders. Auditors, often there's room for plenty of auditors, so that's open, but we want 9 horses and riders. And Richard says, please have a clinic on the East Coast, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. We have tried to set them up in New York and Pennsylvania and have never had enough participants. However, that was a couple years ago. Good news is I'm a little more popular right now, so hopefully if we do set one up, we'll be able to fill it up. And currently, I have a clinic set up in Ohio near Cincinnati. I am working to set up clinics in Maryland, Virginia, Georgia, and Alabama, and possibly Minnesota as well. And of course, I would love to come to Oregon and California and Utah and Idaho, and hopefully we'll set up some here in Texas. But again, I'm not usually setting up the clinics myself. Someone else finds a barn and helps organize that part of it. And so we need people that'll help do that, so we can get more clinics scheduled. Janet says, I wish you were in my state. I have the only gated horse in my barn. Hard to find help with gated horses here. Yep. That's true everywhere, and probably no matter where I move to in the country, everybody will always want me to move to their state. Richard says, Janet, I'm in the same boat, only gated horse at our barn. And that's pretty common, but a lot of barns, like we did a clinic in Alabama in October, and it was like a hunter jumper barn. And so like all the horses we saw were dressage and hunter jumper, but people brought in gated horses and we had no problem using the facility to do our clinic there. So that was wonderful. But it is hard to find help and people to ride with. Susan says she bought me a magnet today. Aw, thank you, Susan. I can't wait to get it. And Betty was asking how many participants I want for a clinic. We want 9. And in most places around the country, I could tell you if we have a lot of interest or not. So places that have a lot of interest are East Coast, so Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, Georgia, all those places have a lot of interest. Pennsylvania to some degree. Ohio has a lot. Tennessee and Kentucky, there's a lot, but I've never done a clinic there. Lois asks about Idaho. I did a 1-day mini clinic there 3 years ago, and it went really well. I would love to come to Idaho this summer if someone wants to set one up. I know there's actually a lot of people in the area. We just need to set one up, and I would happily come. Such a great way to have a vacation, paid for vacation. So I do know there's actually a lot of interest, at least in the southern part of Idaho, near Boise. So for sure. So that is how the clinics work. Again, we have people audit and they pay, and I usually take that money. However, if the organizer has like any out-of-pocket expenses like food and water that they need covered, I want to make sure that they didn't have a lot of expenses to host this clinic, because clinics are a lot of work. Especially, I feel really bad. This year we set up 2 clinics in April and May. Then with COVID, we had to postpone them till September and October. And because of that, it was like setting up 2 clinics with the number of people we had canceling or signing up and organizing everything. It did all work out. But usually they go pretty smoothly as people know how clinics work. And usually we get really awesome people. Okay. Oh, Betty asked, did I mention a price? So right now, my price is $600 per person to come to the 3-day clinic. And unless I have to pay a gob of money for an indoor arena, that's the price it'll be. So again, if you organize it and I get the facility for free or very low cost, you ride for free. If I have to pay for the facility, when you organize it, you ride for half price. So that, as a benefit to you. And again, some places do let us use it for free or very low cost, and that's awesome. And again, usually I don't want to pay more than $600 or $700 for a barn for a weekend. A lot of people tell me like, oh, check out this really big fancy facility. And I'm like, yeah, they're going to charge us $1,000 a day or $700 a day. And we're not paying that. Usually I want to pay $200 to $300 a day to use a facility, and not more than that, because we don't need a really big arena and fancy, because we're only having one person ride at a time. So we don't need a gigantic arena to ride it. I usually only use the 1/3 of it anyway. Linda said Kentucky. There is a lot of interest in Kentucky. There is also a lot of people that train the way they've always trained in Kentucky. And so never really had anybody set one up. There's a lot of interest. However, if you're too close to Cincinnati, I won't do it there, because the clinic in Cincinnati, they're friends of mine and they get priority. So they're in Midland, Ohio, which is about 50 minutes east and south of Cincinnati. So we fill that clinic up, and then if anybody wants to do another one close by, we'll then book another clinic. But if you're close to that southern Ohio, I already have a clinic set up in May for that location. Robin says you pay for your transportation. Great question. Thank you so much for asking. I pay, so out of that cost, the people pay the $600 to me. I pay for all my transportation costs. If I fly, drive, rent a car, I pay for all that. And usually I stay with whoever hosts it, or a friend of theirs, rather than pay for a hotel. I love staying with people and talking and getting to know them, and having it be really personal. Sometimes I've done extra lessons for someone for free or for a small cost, just to do it with them, because it's so much fun being around other horse people. So, but I do pay for those costs. I mean, often food is provided when I'm there, but it's not a requirement. I mean, if someone is having a hard time, I can always pay for my own food. But usually we just eat meals together, and I'm not super picky. I'm really easy. I don't bring horses with me or my dog, although I can if you want me to bring my dog, but my horses stay, so you don't have to provide any board for the horses. It's just me and a friend, which might be my husband or someone that I know. Yeah, so that's basically how the clinics work. My goal is that you don't have a lot of upfront expenses. You don't have to pay for me to come or put a deposit down. We just try to pick a day and time, book it with you and the facility, put up flyers, and depending on the clinic, it will fill up within a couple of days, depending on the location. The last couple clinics have been filled up very, very quickly in Alabama, and the one we did in Colorado. So Lois says, how much per rider if I can get the arena donated or close? So yes, so if the arena is free, it's $600 per rider. But if you organize it, you ride for free. So you don't have to pay to board your horse there if they have a fee, but you don't have to pay the clinic fee. That's kind of why you organize it. You don't have to pay for the fee, so you get to ride. And I know some people will co-organize it with somebody else, and then they'll split that price reduction. That's kind of up to you. If you organize it yourself, you get to ride for free. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to do the clinics. We've not had much drama. Most of the time we have really great people. We get a lot of horses gaiting. We work on cantering. We can work a lot on the saddle gait. We also work on the flat walk and the foxtrot. One of the things that I think people are the most impressed by is when in about 2 sessions, I can teach the horses a side pass to the mounting block and stand there. Like more than anything else, they are blown away by that training method, and that's always fun to see. We also teach horses that are mugging to stop mugging and to be really quiet and calm and stand there nicely. So that's another thing that we work on. We can work on trick training. We've worked on the bow before. We can do the smile. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can work on if your horse doesn't need as much gait training or you're just there to kind of have fun. It just depends. Every clinic is a little bit different in terms of what we work on. Yes, I'll work with any breed. Tennessee Walkers, Missouri Foxtrotters, Peruvian Passos, Icelandics, Standardbreds. We had a gaited mule at the last one. We've had gaited mules in other ones. So pretty much. Okay, Crystal says, is the Ohio clinic full already? I'm sure it's not. I need to work on the flyer this week, and then you can contact the people. Crystal, go ahead and message me if you want, and I'll give you the contact info and the dates and everything for the Ohio clinic, and then you can contact them, make sure you're on that list. Linda says, how many in a clinic? Great question. Max of 9 horses and riders. I do individual lessons, like I said, so everybody gets 1 hour in a row, starting at 9 a.m., going till 6 p.m., so max of 9 horses and riders. It's just really hard for me to ride 10 horses a day. I get very, very tired. And Crystal, different Crystal, the Ohio clinic is not fully booked yet. If you message me, I will give you the dates and info so you can contact the owners of the barn and sign up for that clinic. And hopefully COVID won't be a thing, but I'm sure we'll be able to do it in May, and it'll be a lot of fun. This will be my 6th clinic there, I think, 6th or 7th clinic. I've done a whole bunch at this barn in Ohio, and it's a lot of fun. Diana asks how much to audit a clinic. Usually the auditing fee is something like $90 for all 3 days or $35 for 1 day. It's very close to that. It changes a little bit, but it's very close to that. And Jody also sent a message about the Ohio clinic. You do that, and I'll send you the information and the dates. And again, working to set up clinics in Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, Maryland, and Minnesota right now, but nothing is firmed up. As soon as I do, I will be posting it on this, and as well as mentioning it on my live videos when I get there. You can join my private training group, which features a lot of videos from the clinics that we've recorded. View private training group, the link is in the description below. It's $99 for a lifetime access. You don't pay every year. I don't keep your information. You pay one time and you're in. And we have hours and hours and hours of clinic footage, as well as specialized videos that are not available anywhere else, like talking about the different gaits. There's a video I did, a live video, I explained every single different gait. That is not available to the general public, but it is available on that Facebook page, as well as videos talking about how to get trotty horses to stop trotting, how to get pacey horses to stop, lots of videos on training head down, things like that. Richard says, does the private group include a gait analysis, or is that separate? Actually, it does include a kind of a gait analysis, so you can post videos there, and then I will comment on it. So it's not quite the same as a gait analysis where I do the voiceover, but you can go ahead and post more than one video, and I'll tell you like, oh, excellent job. Like we've had people asking for a little bit of feedback, and I say, we'll do this, and they get feedback right there. But it's not the full video analysis where I do the voiceover, but I give you feedback on your videos and questions. Lois says, is outdoor arena okay? Outdoor arena is totally fine, but you must provide at least a backup indoor or covered arena in case of rain or bad weather, because I don't do rain dates and I don't ride for 9 hours a day in the rain. But I don't mind riding in an outdoor arena. I like being outside. You just have to make sure that we have an indoor as a backup. But again, We did one clinic in Minnesota where we had outdoor arena and an indoor about 20 minutes away in case of rain. The weather was beautiful and we didn't have to go there, but if it had rained, everybody would have hauled their horses over there and it would have been great. Richard says you can join the private group. Awesome. Hope to see you on there. And Crystal says, thanks. You're very welcome. So hopefully that information helps you. If you have other questions that's not answered in the comments, rewatch the video or message me and I'll give you the complete information and breakdown of the clinic info. And I'll probably put all that info in the description as well in case people have comments and don't want to watch the video, which I totally understand. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching today. Merry Christmas and have a great ride.